Thanks, Connor. First off, congrats to men's football. Big win over Washington State. So congrats to Coach Bronco. But yeah, really happy for both groups. Otto on the men's side. A little adversity there. Hobton falling down and having to walk for a little bit. Lucas falling. Rikas had to hurdle them. So for a minute there, it looked like we had to do a lot of work to qualify as a team. They pulled through, and Hobton moved up and finished a comfortable second. But a lot of really good performances in tough conditions. We got to the course, a couple of inches of snow, and it was pretty windy as well. But the guys fared well. Obviously, just 9 points behind number one ranked BYU. So yeah, really excited for the men going into a national championship. And Hobton's in great shape. Hopefully he's fully recovered from that fall, and will look to contend at the front of the race. On the women's side, again, another little bit of adversity. We lost one of our athletes at the 2K mark. Jasmine slipped and went down in the snow and had to be taken away in an ambulance. But Pamela looked really good. Pulled away for a comfortable victory at regionals. The other women ran really, really well and beat number 9 ranked Utah. And just behind BYU and NAU women, who are two of the best teams in the country. BYU being number 1, NAU I think are 4 in the country. So tough region, tough conditions, but I think it stands us in really good stead as we go into Madison. The conditions look pretty cold, and the winds were high, but they're starting to go down a little bit now. But we'll be ready to compete individually and as a team this Saturday in Madison, Wisconsin.
Coach, we talked about this last week, but about the progression in such a short period of time. But what does this mean for your program to get both the men and the women going to nationals? It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's not easy to get there, and there was some situations there that made it difficult. But yeah, really proud of both groups, and I think we're one of 11 or 12 teams who have both men and women qualified to the national championship. So we don't take that for granted, and we're really hoping for 2 top 10 finishes, and it's amazing to have 2 individuals in contention this weekend as well.
And just speak more to, obviously, the course ran there pre-nationals. How much confidence do you go in? I know you talked about the weather, but how much confidence do you go in with going to Wisconsin?
Yeah, I mean, they did really well. Course records for Hobton and Pamela, so good imagery, good feeling, coming off a really successful pre-national. So women's course is the exact same turns. Obviously the man, we had 2,000 more meters, but as we know, Hobton's the national champion on the track over 10,000 meters. So he only gets better as the distance gets longer. So we're really familiar with that course. Our student athletes loved it when they were there, and we'll be ready for any conditions. So excited.
Is the course different because it's going to be cold? Because when you ran there, it wasn't cold the first time.
Yeah, it'll run a little bit differently. It might be frozen. I know there's some rain expected over the next couple of days. So definitely on the man side, it's going to be a totally different beast with new additional runners in there that we didn't see at pre-nationals. On the women's side, it'll be pretty similar, I think. Some similar contenders. I think it was only Alabama that wasn't there at pre-nationals, so we'll see their women there. But Pamela's really confident. She's coming in with a lot of form, and we really built our training towards this national championship. So she'll be a little fresher, and so we'll Hobton and the guys for this one in Madison.
And then with all the extra runners, because I think it's 32 teams?
31 teams, and then
25 individuals.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's just an exponential amount of extra bodies.
Right.
So at a regional, your 5th runner, your 4th runner, they're in the 20s. They're in the low teens, high teens. Here, a 4th and 5th runner, by no fault of their own, could end up being 60. 70.
Right.
How do you get them to understand, because they're not with their own teammates, the pacing to get higher so you score better?
Yeah, no, you're totally right, Frank. I mean, I think on the men's side, we'll have some plans for people that run in pairs. And I mean, we were looking back at last year. You had some runners at the 2K mark that were 120 and then came through and finished in the top 40 or top 30 in the race. So you got to be really strategic in how you run it. And if you're really aggressive early, you can really fall off. So I think at the front of the race, if there's no wind, it could scream out in 2:28 first K. So we got to be really careful on how we run it and not to be too quick at the beginning. Same on the women's side as well. Yeah, I mean, if you've got 5 women in the top 100, you take those individuals out, you're clearly a top half, top 10 team. So we'll really look at that and know what we need to do on Saturday.
Can you just give us a little insight of what this week will look like? I know you kind of want to rest these guys and gals, but I mean, just kind of what's that look like, and when are you guys taking off? What's your schedule?
Yeah, Hayes in the barn at this point. So a lot of we got a great massage therapist here. So a lot of massage, a lot of recovery, hydration. We'll do a light workout tomorrow out at the track. And then a double lift. So we'll keep it pretty similar early in the week, and then we're going to leave for Chicago on Wednesday, get there a little bit earlier, do a really nice national dinner in Chicago on Wednesday evening, and then head over to Madison Thursday, pre-meet the course Friday, just like we normally do, and then up and race early Saturday morning. It's going to be on ESPNU, so we do have to go earlier before football starts. So we'll try and keep them in the same routine, but we want to acknowledge it's a national championship and do some really special things for them to celebrate this journey towards nationals.
How motivated are your athletes? I mean, they're going to a different level now, so what do you do as a coach to get them at another level?
Yeah, a different level. I mean, a national championship, but I think we've got a group that are used to competing on this level, want to compete on this level, and see the University of New Mexico is a perennial power. So we're not going to tell them too much different to pre-nationals or regionals. It's everyone doing their job, working together as a group and great execution. And we'll take care of business on Saturday.